Okay, so last episode was a bit of a shit show. Um, we did beat Emerald Weapon. I stopped recording voice because I was so tired of it midway through. What else happened? Then the video died about an hour 55 in. It stopped recording and I missed a bit. So then I came back, but I think the recording cut off before I screwed up. I thought I got it down at one point to a Demi was doing like 1,000 damage. And I was like, I don't know what percentage Demi does, but this might mean they're in killable range. I should try to finish them with Tifa. That would be cool. So I used a Tifa limit. It killed one of the yellow things, and then, or maybe both. Whatever happened, I killed the yellows. It revived the blues. I had to, it then when the Blues came back, it knocked out Nanaki, and I was sort of trying to finish it, but it heals every time it uses Airtom Storm, and it ended up healing a whole bunch, and I had to revive and get my hero drinks back up, and that was all a nightmare, and oh, it was so bad. Eventually, like, and at some point, I realized the recording stopped. It just crashed midway in and stopped recording, and so I ended up, cutting the video and putting in the last part, which in fact my computer is still cutting them together. It says it's going to be doing it for like another hour or something. Uh, More than that now that I'm recording. I'm trying to cut together the video to include up to that point and then the rest that I recorded, but it missed a chunk. And it was just, it really took away my enthusiasm about this whole beating stuff. But I do think we can beat Ruby Weapon faster. Now, there's a few things we need for my Ruby Weapon strat. And one is I need to have Mug. And we don't have Mug. So we gotta get Mug. Alright. Well, if we're gonna get Mug, then we're gonna be heading back into first of all, yeah. This is our only long barrel 255 accuracy gun. So that's gonna be important. Um, we need Mug, and we may as well be leveling up other materia while we're leveling up Mug. So I'm going to put Mug. I keep saying Mug, it's going to stop being a word to me. Alright. We're going to give W item back to Cloud. Going to get rid of the HP pluses. They're already maxed. We don't need to. I want enemy skill. I want W item. And okay. So for Tifa's build, first we're going to put. Actually, do I have a triple growth weapon? I don't think on any of these characters I do. Because I didn't do the side quest that gets clouds. Yeah. So, okay. So Tifa's going to be on the Power Soul, I guess. Um, just to make this a bit quicker. Obviously, the Master Fist does a little more damage, but, and we'll give her back the Curse Ring. And we're going to put the, all right, we're going to switch out to Nanaki for a sec. Vincent is now going to be part of our game plan. And the reason for this is Vincent has a glitch we're going to exploit. But unlike the glitch we've been using, the item duping glitch. Sorry, I'm pretty scattered right now. Unlike the item duping glitch, this glitch doesn't like help us do things. It just makes it easy. Like it saves time. This is not a glitch that exploits anything. It is a glitch that makes this take a lot less time to do. So okay. Um, Everyone has weapons with growth on it. Okay. So we're going to put on materia that we'd like to level. The thing we really care about is the steel materia. And now we may as well give Tifa her normal loadout. Let's finish leveling up counterattack. Mega All is cool. Long range is great. Luck Plus is nice. We'll give Cloud Magic Plus. Can't have too many mastered HP materia. So let's make sure this is all arranged. But Is there anything else here we needed for her? Oh, obviously we need her super combo of Death Blow and Added Cut, because that is obviously a wonderful combo. And what happens if you pair Counter with Double Cut? Well, we'll find out. And we'll put on 1 HP plus material. Okay. For Vincent, let's do Cloud first. Cloud's much more relevant to our party. Let's bring Ultima. Ultima's pretty nice, having it automatically hit all. Let's actually put that with Quadra Magic, just as a fun effect. Oh, we need added effect in Odin on Tifa. Okay, so added effect, Odin. Sorry, this is not the most thrilling of stuff, but it is again, I'm trying to include everything that I do, and yeah, this is, part of playing. It's a boring part. It's a part proper editors would exclude, but it is also let's put Comet here. Comet would be a fun counter thing. Well, let's just put stuff I feel like leveling. And we can do the same on Vincent. We're just trying to get Mug here. Right, we mastered all the gravities. We have more gravities than we need. Let's finish Poison. Oh, Revive's useful. Revive is part of our top secret game plan here. All right, something like that. And we're gonna go the Northern Crater and fight some movers and get some AP. Because what we need for this glitch... Oh, actually, first we're gonna go to Calm. Calm, you said. It is where the ending happened, but we have now beaten one of the super bosses, and that means if we go to Calm, we get a reward. Now, I'm forgetting, I think the reward we get is Master Materia. And you can get Master Materia if you've mastered every materia of a type and go... Oh, it's the Earth Harp. Want to trade it for some Master Materia? I'm not being stingy either. I'll give you all 3 of it. Nice. You can get these by having mastered a ton of materia, but of course, my method, except for the fact that the fight with Emerald Weapon took like 2.5 hours, this is a relatively quick way to get it. So these materia give you access to all stuff of a type. So they don't level up or anything. It just gives you access to all magic, all commands, and all summons. So that's a pretty cool effect. We will be ignoring them for now. But this does mean we now have access to Knights of the Round, which is the most powerful thing in the game. And the relevant glitch we will be using is Vincent's Mug glitch, which is when Vincent uses Mug with a weapon with 255% accuracy, one of his long-barreled guns, his next animation is skipped. I'm forgetting exactly how it works. I'll have to look it up before we actually do it, because I don't actually remember the super specifics of how it works. But you can skip animations, and Knights of the Round is this really annoyingly long animation. I should have remembered to level up Steel while we were here, but I forgot. So we get to skip that animation. We should look at what Knights of the Round looks like once. But we get to skip that animation, which means we don't have to watch the same thing taking forever a bunch of times. And the fight's actually fairly quick. So, yeah. And also, you can have Vincent do that, and then another character gets the benefit of the thing, which is nice. So Tifa is going to be doing a little less damage than we're used to. Man, Vincent, you have a low life. But she's still going to hit for... okay, not a bad turn. Not a bad turn for a debuffed Tifa compared to her normal. Yeah, so here's our game plan for Ruby Weapon. My game plan for Emerald Weapon is always like, get enough life you can handle what it does, and use hero drinks and mega elixirs to stabilize. And then it's annoying that it counters stuff like Ultima. Maybe I could have ended up figuring out an Ultima thing, but gravity is probably the most consistent cheap damage. I have everyone back road, so everyone's damage but Tifa is going to be terrible. I guess Vincent's will be normal, but Vincent we're not equipping with a particularly good gun. It's Tifa that's going to carry us here, as she has throughout the game. So my strategy for Emerald Weapon is like, fight well, eventually you stabilize, and eventually you do enough damage to kill it. It takes a ton of time because you don't have Knights of the Round, you don't have huge damage output. None of my characters are hitting for huge amounts of damage with physical attacks, but over time you eventually wear it down. There was probably a way to get counter and gravity working to help the damage out. There were probably better ways to figure out. I should figure out at some point better ways to get rid of the blue stuff, so the blue eyes, handling them is safer, and then figuring out how to do a little more damage than my very slow gravity method would be, I think. Like, I think there's definitely improvements in how I do that fight. I'm not sure where they are, if anyone has any ideas. Clearly, the maximum, given that I didn't have higher level HP plus than I did, and given that I'm relatively low level, the maximum number of materia I could have equipped on each character was 4. So if someone has a better loadout with 4 materia there, I would be very curious to hear it. Because really any damage there will eventually work as long as it can outpace Airtam Storm's heals. I also, at some point in the fight, I think this was like maybe after I stopped recording, but realized like, oh, it goes back and forth between the Emerald move and Airtam Storm. And I probably should have realized that quicker than I did, but what can you do? And that meant I could be a little freer attacking on some turns and had to be a little more careful others, because Airtam Storm is more dangerous than the Emerald Shoot, though not by a ton. Alright, we mastered a Death Blow. We may as well start leveling up the other Death Blow. There is no bonus to a mastered Death Blow. I think they both give luck +1. Yeah, so may as well start leveling the new one. I do like the feel of master and stuff, so the game plan is Ruby Weapon has a bunch of stuff it can do. It's got some status effecty type stuff it can do that's annoying. It can kick one of your characters out of the battle at basically the start of the battle. It's got a whole bunch of ways it can mess with you. And what we're going to want to do is essentially trick it out of eliminating one of our characters and get it as slow as possible. So we can use dazers to stun it, and we can use spider web to make it slow. So the first thing we want to do in that fight, in my opinion, is W item, dazers, and spider web on it. Another thing we want is we want to be in sadness. We just need to reduce the amount of damage it does. I have always thought of Ruby Weapon as the tougher one than Emerald Weapon. I know some people go the reverse, but Emerald Weapon has always struck me as, here's the one I can beat fighting normally but well, right? And Ruby Weapon has always struck me as the one where, like, you have to remember what your setup is because you have to do something specific to handle it. And so we are going to be fighting Ruby Weapon, therefore we need to be specific. So unlike Emerald, where I kind of like figure it out a bit as I go, and just figure once I can survive it, I'll figure out a way to stabilize. Uh, Ruby is very much. I don't have that attitude. I have the we got to go in with a game plan. So because it brings up two tentacles, and before it brings up two tentacles, it can boot a member of your party. We do not want it to boot a member of our party, so we need to start with characters dead except for one, because for whatever reason, I'm forgetting exactly how the fight works, but that will stop it booting a character. We can keep all three characters if we come in with two dead and set it up to maybe do we kill them in fight or do we kill them pre-fight? I think we kill them pre-fight. And then we can revive them, and then we can do other things with the fight. So I have written down my general game plan. We just mastered a materia, so might as well swap it out. And we're gonna be trying to follow it. It's the super boss where I go. I don't trust myself to figure it out on the spot. None of these really matter, but let's start leveling transform. You can combine transform with added effect, and I think that the mini effect is pretty good, and the frog effect. So, like, definitely reasonable thing to do. Is this a screen movers can appear, or is it only the next screen? I'm not sure. We're going to try to get that chest I didn't get before, though. So yeah, so we're going to start by slowing and stunning it. Then we are going to revive the rest of our party, because we want our party accessible. I do have in my notes to put the active battle on slow and wait, which really makes it a lot easier to handle. This is not even exploiting a glitch, right? It's in the game. But in general, if you slow down the ATB, that makes the super bosses easier. And I didn't do it on Emerald, but my lazy Ruby weapon strategy is to do it. We should probably do one Ruby weapon strategy where I go in just with my normal party and let it just completely maul me, because that's entertaining. But suffice it to say, Ruby weapon always felt even scarier to me than the unprepared party. As I said, I know there is some debate over which people think is kind of the bigger problem of the two, and I am firmly Team Ruby. I figured out the plan I like to do, and I do that plan, and I don't wing it. So yeah, we sadness people. We kill two characters so that there's only one alive, so that it doesn't boot anyone. We have ribbons as much as we can, because it will mess us up with statuses. We have sadness to reduce damage. We're back row. I think back row helps. It does put things behind you, so maybe back row doesn't actually help. Maybe row doesn't matter. I once saw a strategy with Nanaki in its Berserk limit break, which we haven't gotten, just beating it, but I wasn't able to replicate it when I tried to. It was like in a French video, and I tried to replicate the setup, and I wasn't sure I was getting it exactly right, but I think I was, and I think it did not work on my version of the game. This is a very weak enemy for the final dungeon. 53 damage is pretty funny. So, okay. And we use Dazers and Spiderweb to make it even slower after having set the ATB as slow. Then we will cast Revive All to bring the party members back once we have slowed it and stunned it. Next goal is get 4 times hero drinks on our main caster. And then we want to make sure our main caster is hasted. And if they don't have a ribbon, we need to put a vaccine on them, or they'll get hit by status effects. We do have 2 ribbons. We will make our main caster ribboned. And I usually have the main caster as Cloud. I feel like on this playthrough, it would be wrong not to have it as Tifa, even though Tifa is clearly not the best summoner in the party. Feels like the right choice. So that will lower our efficiency on it, but it seems like the right thing to do. And then we need to have, I believe, Vincent attack with Mug. And then we can start launching Knights of the Round. As soon as it attacks, then we have to use Dazers again. And with the hero drinks, it raises the stats enough. It shouldn't matter too much that Tifa's stats are low, and it should die fairly quickly. Doesn't take that many casts, but it would take a while to watch all of. Oh, I meant to cast Deathblow there. Yeah, we got an eye drop. Great find. Cloud might be strong enough to kill something. That'd be cool. No one else has killed something with physical attacks for a long time. Besides Tifa, obviously. So that's my game plan. It's a fight, yeah, as I said, where I like to come in with a game plan. I was thinking about not doing it because I got kind of annoyed by how long the Emerald Weapon fight took. I guess it's never bothered me quite how long it took when I don't have to talk throughout the whole time and I'm like doing other stuff. But it was really painful to do this way. Really did not enjoy that. I'm sorry if anyone suffered through all of it. My condolences to all of us. That was a struggle. I liked that I lost a few times. I think that's important to show just how powerful and dangerous it is. But so do these give? I think these give pretty good AP. But I thought it was movers that gave the better AP. Maybe movers give good experience because I don't think we've been leveling up a ton. But yeah, hopefully we can have a pretty quick, pretty clean Ruby weapon fight. That fight in a way that Emerald doesn't puts like the fear of God in me. I wonder. I don't know which. No, that's a lot of experience, but it's also a lot of AP. Does movers give more experience or more AP? I don't remember. Just don't remember. There's so much of this game that's like permanently ingrained in my head, and then other bits that are just like, don't really remember. Really feel I should remember, just don't. So yeah, I guess this is just a preparing for Ruby episode. But Ruby is a pretty quick fight when we get it right. What the hell are these enemies doing? I have no idea. This game's so weird. It really is like FF7 and FF10 are such a big contrast on enemy types because FF7 is so much like this wild west of so many enemies have weird little things they do that like might do nothing at all, but just like weird effects, very strange stat pools. I shouldn't have left the previous screen. I forgot what the next screen was. Very weird stat pools that like, don't always feel like they're the strength of an area. Just so strange. And then FF10 is very much just like it does a lot of reskins of similar enemy types, and the enemy type, and I think it does this really well. This is not criticism. The enemy types, it's very like visibly apparent what once you get used to its patterns, what each thing is going to be strong or weak against. By reskinning stuff, it means I've seen this before. I know how this works. This is like the leveled up version of this. I need better stats to handle it, but like I know how to react to this enemy appearance. And everything is very, I think, nicely systematized in FF10. Oops, didn't mean to go back that way. I'm just going random places. What am I doing? And FF7, it really is so like, oh, you had that enemy idea? I don't think you thought that out. Like, does that do anything? Maybe it does something in like 5 turns. This enemy has 3 health. It's never going to last 5 turns. What are we doing here? And there's just so many enemies in this game that clearly have this really individual AI. And you look at FF10 and like the armored shielded guy is weak to Auron and attacks each turn, right? That's what he does. That's what he is. There's not something else for him to do, right? And you get used to that pattern, and then you beat that thing very comfortably. And it's not much of a pattern. Most, there's things that vary, but a lot of enemies, this is the specific attack they do, and there's a specific ways to handle it, right? And FF7 is just such an oddball in this way. FF8's a little odd. FF8 has some weird things. It's not near as odd as FF7, but FF8's got, the Blobras of the world, enemies that clearly operate a little strangely. But I think FF8's more closer to normal in that way. Let's use a limit break. And oh, we haven't seen the sixth one yet. Yeah, it should be showing off limits. So we haven't seen her sixth move. Hopefully I didn't miss too much to be able to see. Yeah, her new one's Meteor Strike, where she spins it around and spikes it. Great work, everyone. Killed nothing. Limit breaks. So weak. It's so funny because everyone playing the game is like, yeah, limit breaks so powerful, but Tifa just outclasses limit breaks. They're not needed. So you see, Vincent does that wind up when he's got one of these guns. He does this sort of spin thing, and that animation, I believe, is part of the animation kind of cancel effect with Mug. But again, do not remember exactly how this works. And then I think we'll be done. I did say I was going to do Battle Square, and it's not uninteresting, and it would be fun to crush it with Tifa. But Emerald Weapon tired me out. And yeah, I think Ruby Weapon may be our final boss. Also, it's very apparent. It's just it's less fun to comment on gameplay, especially when a pattern is already clear, right? I like talking about the story because as we go through the story, it's constantly changing, right? There's new things to talk about. Characters have said new things. The thing about Tifa being the best at fighting is Tifa has now been the best at fighting for the last 15, 20 hours we've played of this game. It's great that Tifa's so good, and I have fun being damn, she keeps destroying everything in half a second. But it's no longer news, right? It's old. Yes, okay, movers is what we want. Movers is the dream. So something was mastered there. Let's just take a peek at what we got. I don't really need to have enemy skill on, but I like always having enemy skill on. There's something about it. Steel is getting really close. We're going to master that soon. And we mastered Revive, which is good, because we will be using Revive. Let's get started on Seal, I guess. Ruby Weapon gives lots of stuff, so I'm probably going to put on a lot of materia that I just want to get, some growth on. But yeah. When I did my Banner Saga playthrough, it was clear, I like thinking about the decision making in Banner Saga, but also and I like the story in Banner Saga, and I enjoyed talking about the story, but so much time in each part is taken by these long battles. And one thing nice about FFs is they tend to have pretty quick battles. So once you've shown you've kind of mastered whatever it is they need you to have mastered to win that battle, which for many battles is do you know about the attack button and do you press it quickly? Well done, you're going to win. But once you've mastered the whole I know how to attack thing, you can beat a lot of battles, but the game doesn't make them take forever after that, right? The game goes, okay, you can attack, so this fight won't take forever because you have shown this incredibly impressive skill to hold the circle button. All right, we have Mud. I'm going to put on some things that we're working on as we make it out. I guess we'll put on the new long-range materia that we just made. transform. It's nice to finish the little useless ones that are not useless, but ones I tend not to use because it lets me move on from having them equipped. So we'll keep all the material we're trying to level as we go out. And I really think Ruby's a quite quick fight, so maybe we'll just try to do it this video. It takes forever if you have to watch Knights of the Round a million times, but so it's not a long fight. The thing is, so Ruby weapon has incredibly high defense. Like the really defining trait about Ruby weapon is this thing takes hugely reduced damage from everything. And this is where the stat boost from hero drinks becomes really visible. Now, we've already seen it a bit with the fight against Emerald. Because maybe you didn't see, but when Nanaki went down, because I think this part wasn't in the video, when Nanaki went down and I had to revive him and bring him back up, I used some limits of his before I remembered to hero drink him up. And he was doing a little under 5,000 damage per limit when quadruple hero drinked. When he was down to 0 hero drinks, he was doing basically exactly 2,000. So the difference between him being fully hero drinked and him being not hero drinked was over double the damage. You know, like 2 1/3 times the damage kind of thing. Or I guess 2 1/6. No, 2 1/3. I can do basic math. Oh, I forgot they have this instant death effect, yeah. That's why we don't attack with someone other than Tifa. They die. But when Tifa attacks, the enemy dies. So yeah, I think with the right setup, this one's pretty painless. And there's always the feeling like when you're showing something, like don't tell them how you're going to do what you do. You know, it'll be a lot more impressive if you just go in, do the setup, and crush things. Like I tried to our whole Tifa setup to destroy the game. I tried not to give away what the setup was going to be. I tried to do it all sneaky, like make it not obvious that like I really need that power soul. Where's the power soul? Got to go back and grab items here. Oh, we got the power soul. I guess we don't need to collect all the items here, right? I felt like I was being a little obvious there, but I think nothing too obvious, and I think I was able to keep that pretty under wraps. And there's always the desire to do that. But here, the only interesting thing going on is what are we setting up? What are we going to do? And can we execute it? And we'll see if we can. I think it would be disrespectful to have Tifa not be the one doing Knights of the Round here. I think this playthrough, at least the second half of this playthrough, has been about one thing, and Tifa didn't really get to shine against Emerald Weapon. We made her the W item user, but that just meant she was on permanent heal duty. She also couldn't use her limit break because you can't target her limit break, so it was actively a disaster when I did use it, and I got myself in trouble and had to deal with the blue eyes phase more times than I should have had to. I was really misled because the classic way of beating it and the way I beat it the first time is a Knights of the Round based strategy, right? Because again, Knights of the Round is just so powerful. But Knights of the Round is always going to clear out the other eyes. So it would go into these phases where it has the eyes up, and then I defeat the eyes, and then it revives them, right? And I thought of it as more in phases and didn't actually remember. I mean, I've thought it this way before, so I must have known then, but did not remember that it just keeps the eyes up until you kill all 4. So I probably should have killed a third. I didn't lose too much time with them taking out MP, but may as well have, right? It's not like it could have made the fight that much slower than that incredibly slow fight I fought. How long can 100 demi-casts take? Well, once you've done about 80 of the demi-casts, each one starts doing less, and yeah, it dragged. Did I have a point there? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. hopefully where Emerald Weapon took a million years, Ruby Weapon can be quick. And now I do want to do Battle Square. The problem is like the Tifa loadout I don't think is great for Battle Square because she is very susceptible to status ailments and stuff like Mini or Frog, especially Mini, can really debilitate our game plan for her. But also, I don't know if I've tested before how well she does in Battle Square with the kind of setups we've been using. I think it should be really good. Like her damage output's really high. I don't know that anything will be able to last that much, longer than 60 seconds. So I think we can probably set up Tifa to do pretty well without changing our setup. So that would be fun to do, and that would be, I think, a happier ending than whatever the nonsense we're doing now is. But the easiest builds to beat that with, in my experience, are usually ribbon-based ones, because being able to mitigate the slot reels. So it's a system where you have to survive. I think it's 8 rounds, might be 7, but I think it's 8 rounds to get serious points that you can go towards. For instance, getting Omni Slash, the final cloud limit break that he uses to beat Sephiroth. So I mean, we don't really need the rewards. You can also get like the final attack materia, but that might be through Chocobo Racing. Um, that's probably through Chocobo Racing. There's some rewards there. I forget what the rewards are. They're nice. We obviously don't need them at this point, but they're nice. But it's a fun gauntlet to run. And so each level of it you do, you get a handicap. You get more points the more handicaps you take. It's a slot machine that determines the handicap. If you get a lucky 7, you don't get a handicap, but then you get fewer points at the ends to buy stuff with. So it can be good to be able to take more of the weaknesses you get. And if you have a ribbon, a lot of those don't hit as hard. But Tifa, of course, is the cursed ring, so they're going to hit harder, right? So Tifa is going to be less reliable at being able to complete it than some other characters would be. Okay, not that big a deal. I think we'll try this. We haven't been going that long. It's not that late at night. We'll see. We'll see if I remember how the mug glitch works. So we're gonna go to where Ruby is. And we could go have it mess me up first, but I feel messed up enough. So let's try to get the strategy right. And much like against Emerald, it may still hugely mess me up, right? If I don't have it quite right. So it's in the desert around the Golden Saucer. You can see its little red thing there. You happen to fly into that, and you have problems. Okay, so first we'll heal. And now we need our loadout. So our main character for this fight, let's go into the exchange menu. We're going to need W item. Let's put that on Tifa. We're going to need revive all. Oh, we should switch Tifa's equipment. We can go back to her proper Master Fist here. We're not leveling anything up. And, okay, she should have a ribbon. So, is there a place you can buy a peace ring? One sec, I'm gonna Google this. We didn't get a peace ring, and I'm sure you can buy it at some point. You can get it from Fort Condor. That's not useful. That is a good way to get it. It can be bought at Rocket Town. Okay. So let's go get a peace ring for our third character. Because this is one of the bosses. This one uses status effect. And as a kid, Status effects were the thing that messed me up, because most of the game doesn't force you to adjust to status effects, right? Most of the game just you kind of can do enough damage that you win, and if it happens to be able to status affect you enough to be annoying, well, that was obnoxious, and we'll fail and try again or whatever. But maybe we'll do enough damage, it doesn't matter. But some bosses, like Ruby Weapon here, Necron and FF9, really messed me up. With just because this was not something I was willing to adapt to. And ribbons are a nice solution. What are we looking for again? We don't have the exit material. May as well buy that. We're looking for a peace ring. So that's the equipment shop, of course. Why did I skip past the equipment shop? I was like, we're not looking for weapons. But we'll go to the weapon shop. We'll get a peace ring. And sadly, this means no, cursed ring strats. But it did so well. Just because it can't beat literally everything in the game doesn't mean it's not great. Okay, so we can start loading up. We're going to give the peace ring to you. Where'd it go? We're going to give you the ribbon. She'll still get a boost from being in sadness. Not that she's going to be attacking physically. Okay, that all looks fine. And we need to go into exchange, and we need to figure out our builds. So we have W item. We're going to want revive all. So we should probably with revive 2, so we want our mastered one. And I think we'll only need to cast this once. So we don't actually need a mastered all. Okay. I'm going to drop off everything else. Okay. We're going to need Master Summon, and it's easiest if we have MP Absorb. We don't need MP Absorb. You can put Master Summon combined with MP Absorb to get some MP back, so you can keep casting it more easily. I guess we just won't have that. That's fine. Vincent needs Mug. And that's it. We need a Mastered Steel Materia. There we go. And our other character can most usefully be casting Haste on our party. I need Time Materia, which I guess is going to be at the bottom. We just took it off someone. And all right, and let's fill out the rest of the slots with stuff we're looking to level up. Okay, let's finish leveling up Counterattack and Mega All. That seems nice. Work on the new long range materia. We like long range. Luck Plus has been good to us. And yeah, let's have more HP. Let's have more HP still. Okay. Hades is useful. Maybe we'll put Hades on someone else. You can have Hades. You should also have more HP. And you should have more HP. You should have a lot more HP. Right, you need a big boost. I'll give you a mastered one. Okay. Now, stuff we also want to level up. Ultima, Shield, Contain, Common. Destruct, sure, Barrier. And for you, Exit, Poison. Poison's so close to being mastered anyway. Alright, so Seal, Heal, almost done. Transform's pretty close, but okay, we'll finish it off. Ice, And Quadra Magic. Is there anything else we want to get? Yeah, there is. We definitely want added cut. Added effect is definitely better than that. Counter would be a nice materia to actually have multiple of. MP Turbo is better. W Magic is better. Double Cut's better. Alright, there's a bunch of stuff we're going to drop. Get Double Cut. Not that there's anything this is useful for, but I like having them. Right. And I think that's it. So I think we're almost set up to go. We're going to chuck an elixir on Tifa, and we're going to go fight a random battle. And I think we're ready. I think this was essentially all the preparation we need, which isn't too bad, right? Not too bad. We had to beat Emerald first. That was a lot of the preparation because we needed Master Summon. Now we get in a fight. Actually, at this point, no, let's get in a fight here. Maybe we save here. I have the 2 save slots. Let's go. Yeah, we don't need to save. Let's go there. Sort of my almost ready to go save file. Stupid enemy is going to cast Roulette, but that might kill an enemy quickly. So, yeah, let's... Or actually, I think Roulette's the end game thing. Okay. Let's have you attack this. Tifa can only attack the enemy. Okay, so you're going to have to kill yourselves. Alright, good job, Cloud. You're going to be faster at killing yourself than Vincent will. True sign of skill. So we'll have you do some damage to Vincent, because you are more efficient at this whole affair. Alright. 1 down, 1 to go. And Cloud won't miss himself twice. Oh no, she countered. That wasn't because I attacked with her, it's because she countered. Okay, we still have to kill Cloud. And this is running a little long. But again, I think the actual Ruby fight will be quick. And it's not like the last episode didn't go for a million years, so. With no commentary for most of it. Or at least half of it. God, it's such a big file on my computer. So excited to upload that and get it off my computer. Attack yourself. And slash off. I'm probably going to heal Tifa to full health before we move on, just because I feel like if that's a one-hit KO and I get a game over here, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's hilarious. That's great. Clearly the hardest enemies in the game. Good thing I saved there, right? What a great game over. It's gonna be great if that's a game over we get. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. That's a game over we get, but we don't get one like against Ruby Weapon, right? Oh man. I wasn't sure what Joker did, but I thought it might be an instant kill. Again, enemies in this game can do so many oddball things. Alright, that was a great way to die. I should have that as the thumbnail for this episode. It's game over. Um, so like coming in, you're like, oh yeah, they definitely died to Ruby Weapon. No, we didn't die to Ruby Weapon. We died to random encounters with our end game party. Really hard to see who he's hitting. Okay, I think I just accidentally hit Tifa, so that's not ideal. I think that's Cloud. I think this should be Vincent. Nope, that was not Vincent. Great work. While Tifa's out of the way, I think that's the right person. There we go. We're getting there slowly. Got a little terrible angle for trying to attack yourself. Alright. We're almost there. We might not even game over this time. Yeah, isn't it wild? This enemy does 63, like, and did 100 on an earlier hit to me, and we fought something in the final dungeon that attacked me for 53 damage. Isn't that wild? That, like, this random, like, early game enemy is hitting me for more than something in the final dungeon. Like, how is that possible? How did that, like, it's fine. Like, I don't care. It doesn't, like, hurt the experience. But, like, how did it happen? It's fascinating. All right. I think we have everything set up. We're going to save. I suspect we're going to screw this up the first time, but because, you know, that's how things go. But let's try it. Vincent is the only character, I believe, that can glitch you out of seeing animations. So that's nice to do. Big, battle speed. Nope, wrong way. Slow, and ATB weight. Yeah, we're being a little unfair here. We should actually, I'm going to just double check everything. With ribbon, ribbon, piece ring, long barrel weapon with 255 accuracy, uh, has all and time, has W item and revive and master summon. And master summon gives you multiple uses, so that's fine. Actually, let's put the counter materia tied to. No, it's just okay. I think this is all good. Done a save state just to be even quicker than a save. Huh? Oh, snap. And let's go. Tifa versus Ruby Weapon. With a little help from her friends. So it's a big boy. And it's going to start by putting its claws in. Now there's no escape. We're going to escape, or it could escape. And we want to get to W item, spider web, and dazers. Alright, it's in slow, and we are going to die. Okay. Now we need to make it to our next use. Feels like it's taking forever. And we need magic, like 2. Okay. God, they're so powerful. They hit so hard. Okay. Keeping an eye on everything. And W item, we're going to double hero drink. And we're going to Mega Elixir. And we are going to... I'm just going to chuck another Dazers with him. It won't hit, but on the off chance it starts moving again between when I last input commands, there wasn't something else I thought useful to do with Vincent there. So, okay. We're going to W item, hero drink twice again. And you need to cast haste. You can cast slow on that. Oh no, oh no. We got a turn. Okay. That was fine, and we're immune to what it does. What do we need to do? I should have thrown a Dazers. So let's do that. And I guess just check the hero drink somewhere. No. Okay, that's MP. It's funny, we get the counterattack against Ruby Weapon. So, okay, that restores MP. It's dazed. Okay. So what we're going to need is Cloud to get out of the way, Mug, and now we summon Knights of the Round. And that should skip its animation. It did not. Oh no. We have to watch this 7 times or whatever? That's a pain. So this enemy has less life than Emerald Weapon. Alright, how's the Mug Glitch work again? One sec, let's look up the Mug Glitch on the side. Mug Glitch FF7. What did I screw up? I used Mug. Whenever Vincent uses Mug, the next attack animation is skipped. The damage is calculated as normal. But didn't we do it? Does it not work with the long barrel R? Guns for Vincent Mug Glitch. Long barrel R. First attack used after Vincent Mugs should have its animation cancelled. Did I not mug? Alright, well, okay, this might take longer than I thought. So Cloud should be ready to throw a Dazers. That's what Cloud is here for. Right, next time it starts moving, Cloud throws Dazers. But we got to see Knights of the Round, so you can see this animation and just how it, is basically 13 powerful summons as a turn. This enemy has the best defense from everything in the game, so against like anything else, this would be all 9999s. But 13 times, let's say this is averaging 6,500. So 13 times 6 is 78, and so that's going to be 81k per round. So I believe this has something like 500k life, so 7 casts should do it-ish. But I don't want to have to watch it 7 times. I was hoping to avoid that. Okay. We can also throw a Mega Elixir. So I'm going to Mug, and then we're going to summon again. Oh, it happened. You see? Her everything went down. Okay, so let's do it again. Mug. And now Knights of the Round. And Mega Elixir. No, it didn't skip this time. But we did skip it once, I think. Right? We definitely skipped it once. I think I messed it up here, but I think we have skipped it once. I'm going to use fast forward. We don't have to suffer through this. It's cool and it feels super powerful when you get it because it, slaughters everything so devastatingly. But we don't need to spend our life like this. This isn't FF8 where we have to watch minute-long summons every fight. Not that you have to in that game, but I did when I was a kid and I loved it. So obviously this was my jam too. But it's not my jam anymore. So I think I shouldn't queue up anything else when we're doing this. So we're gonna item, Dazers, Mug, Summon. And yeah, she did it. Okay, that worked great. So, okay. Cloud is going to use a Mega Elixir. We're going to Mug, and we're going to Summon again. And it worked. Okay. This is excellent. We are totally fighting this legit. Mug, Summon. Ah, it might be possible it's doing something in between. And so, because about every other time we're getting it to work, but I'm really not sure. Obviously, it came very close to killing me at the start and probably would have done so if we didn't have slow speed on. So, suspicious way of winning, but it does work. It does work. Ruby's tough. I don't... To properly fight Ruby takes a lot more preparation, I think. And so this is functional and efficient. Okay. So we're going to use a Mega Elixir. We're going to Mug, and we're going to Summon. And it worked. Why does it work every other time? Mug. And we went to the wrong character. I bet it doesn't work this time. Yeah. But this is, we've now watched the animation 4 times, and I think we've skipped it 3 times. So I think this is our 7th use. So I think it should die, probably not this one, but the next one. I think Cloud has a little higher spirit, so he'd do more damage, and we probably takes like 8 with Tifa, but would take 7 with Cloud, most builds. Something like that. Obviously still quite efficient and quick, and way faster than stupid Emerald Weapon. Okay, gonna throw a Mega Elixir, gonna Mug, mix it around. I can't even throw Dazers during this. Okay, so this is the 8th. This might be it, because this should be, a bit over 640,000. If I counted right how many we've done. And I think it's somewhere around there. It doesn't have near as much life as Emerald. It still takes forever. And I think it takes longer in a lot of ways because it is much higher defense. But obviously, if you beat either one of them, you get access to Knights of the Round. In this one, we get access to Knights of the Round because we, oh shoot, that's scary. We gotta move. Not great. Not great at all. Okay, hopefully that's at Tifa. Okay, we're gonna need Phoenix down, Mega Elixir. This is not great. It's quite low on life. Maybe I could have just cast there, but I think we'll try to revive. Okay. Now we're gonna use Phoenix down here in Mega Elixir, and you are gonna throw Dazers. Notice that stunning a Ruby weapon, I think, also stuns its tentacles. Like, they don't get moves. Okay. So now we should be stabilized, and we can... No, we're not skipping it. I'm really not sure why it sometimes skipped and didn't. If anyone knows, I'd love to hear what I'm screwing up in the animation, or in the way to get it to do the cancel. I think this is our 9th cast total. 6 watches, 3 skips, but I'm not good at counting. We've established this well. Counting is not a strength of mine. Multiplying, adding, all this, exponents, all that's fine, but just counting is not easy. But I feel like that might be it. Yeah, there we go. All right. All weapons down, all 5. And Vincent got to skip 3 of them, so good for Vincent. Got the Desert Rose. The Desert Rose gets us a golden chocobo. We could also get that through chocobo breeding and racing. But this is, and we're supposed to do that, right? This is a prize that, like, do we even have a place to leave a chocobo? I should rent here first. Make sure we've rented a place to store our new golden chocobo. We can now go get the Knights of the Round materia proper as we're supposed to. That would be pretty funny if I just like immediately lost it. Like he gives you a golden chocobo, and because I didn't have a stables for it, it was just gone. Oh, it's Desert Rose. Want to trade it for that chocobo over there? Sure. Yeah. So we skipped all the side quests. We get a golden chocobo, and now we can explore where the golden chocobo takes us. It's a chocobo. Take it. It's yours. Guess it's time to go on a journey for the souls of my departed friends. So he's telling us he's done, doesn't have any more incredibly powerful endgame stuff to give us. The golden chocobo gives us access. Looks like my stable's full. I'll come back when I have room. Okay, so the game is smart. I've never done it this way before, where I didn't even rent a stable, but we can now go do that. Give our chocobo a place, and we've beaten all the weapons, and we've beaten the game, and we even used Vincent for a weird amount of time. And he was almost helpful. He was slightly helpful. Didn't hurt. Let's move a little materia over. Let's just drop whatever Vincent had. And probably a lot of stuff was just mastered. So let's drop things that were mastered. Yeah. A lot of stuff mastered. And while we're here, we can go back to the proper Tifa build that we're all familiar with. Give the ribbon back here. And you have the Master Fist. And we can give you added effect. We got new added effect, didn't we? Yep. Added effect plus Odin. So Tifa can go back to being her proper self. What else does Tifa need? Has a long range on. Alright, nothing too important. And we don't really need loadouts at this point anymore, so I'm just going to leave this alone for now. We're going to go rent a stable, so our chocobo is a nice place to go. And I think next time we will do a little bit of Battle Square, see how Tifa does. Not sure, I don't think this is a great Battle Square loadout. Obviously, we are higher leveled than we would be if we had just gone to Battle Square immediately. So it might turn out really well. Because it might turn out, yeah, at this point she's busted for Battle Square. How about raising a chocobo? Because of the state of things in the world. Meteor's coming, you know? I thought that it would be good and healthy for you to raise a chocobo when we're about to all die. Yep, so we're gonna rent, take care of my chocobos, blah, blah, blah. I will need a chocobo stable. Yep. Chocobo stables cost 10,000 gil, rent it. Thank you. And I'm gonna just have a backup one. Normally you do need more than one because you are breeding to get better chocobos, but here we have skipped right to the end. So what I wanted to say was chocobos give you access to 4 special materia hidden around the map that are places not accessible to your airship. Except we did access one of them, if you remember earlier. We got the Quadra Magic through a very skillful glitch landing I did with the high wind. So we already grabbed one of the 4, but one of the other 4 is where you're supposed to get access to Knights of the Round. So the way we're supposed to do this is we do this whole lengthy chocobo training quest, we get Knights of the Round through that, and then we have a chance to beat the weapons. The other thing that would have really helped with the weapons is if we had better HP plus materia and were higher leveled, and thus could have gotten to 9,999 HP, and with 2 materia equipped. So if a character had over 5,000 base HP, which my characters now are pretty much have, but we were not level in our 60s before doing this. We were in the 50s, and our characters had much lower base HP. But if we had 2 HP pluses at that point, you get plus 100% HP. You get up to 9,999, and then when it uses the thing, you go into Lucky Sevens mode, and that does an extraordinary amount of damage. So there are some other ways to beat it that make sense, but except that it took forever. I like what we did, and I like this order of getting things. It strikes me as funny to go so completely not what the game wants from you. All right.